If you really want to improve your cooking for the new year, well, there are 5 cooking resolutions that you should make right now, and I'll help you make them, maybe stick to them, today on the Carefree Cooks Code. I'm Chef Todd Moore, and this is the Carefree Cooks Code, every Tuesday live at noon Eastern. Here's our challenge. How can home cooks cook freely with creativity, confidence, and pride while ignoring recipes and still impressing themselves and others with what they cook? Well, the answer is found in becoming empowered with how cooking works, using dependable and repeatable methods of cooking that work for any ingredient, for any diet, and any desire, just like chefs do. And we'll know we've cracked it when everyone sees cooking as an exciting and rewarding way to improve their relationships, their lifestyles, and their health through better food and cooking. This is the Carefree Cooks Code. Hey, welcome back to the Carefree Cooks Code, everyone. It's a whole new year. It's so cool. That we continue. This is the weekly show for the methods, the techniques, the insights into better food and cooking. We continue to be live every Tuesday at noon Eastern, and we'll continue to do that into the new year as well. You can find all my past videos in the video archive. I look shocked there for some reason. On Facebook, go to facebook.com/chef.todd.moore/videos. And if you want to see what I'm cooking during the week and how I did it, you follow Chef Todd Moore on Instagram as well. Stuffed chicken leg, I think that is. Because I'm a carefree cook, I create my own recipes. I bring friends and family together, even if it's virtually. I learn every time I cook. I create my own cooking style because I practice pro methods and I love my cooking. That's our creed. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope it's a happier New Year. I've been reluctant to wish people a happy new year. It's difficult times. Let's just say positive new year. We're going to be positive. We're going to move forward, right? We're going to be excited about starting another year of carefree cooking together. This is the 12th year for web cooking classes, the 6th year of our Carefree Cooks community, now well over 17,000 members. And I can tell you this, our Carefree Cooks community are some of the kindest, some of the most encouraging, some of the most inclusive people on the internet. We have created a rare and special community online. Nice people that want to help each other. But look, with all these years behind us, all the things that we've done together, all these Carefree Cooks with us, it's just been such an amazing journey that so many people have benefited from, and especially in the year over our shoulder, cooking your own food at home has become especially important, and I'm really proud to have been part of your cooking success in 2020. I hope I had something to do with that. And even with all the successes that these thousands of people have had over decades of times, with all the lives changed by cooking with dependable methods rather than written recipes, I can honestly and optimistically say that this year is the best one to come. 2020 was sucky. It was, but I'm excited about 2021 because it gives us the potential to start again, right? Set some new goals for the coming year. Seek out some new discoveries in our kitchen, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, I've got the true or false for you. Every week on the Carefree Cooks Code, we play a what am I or a true or false. I ask at the beginning of the show. I tell you about 25 minutes from now the answer. So tell me in the comments section below, do you eat beans for good luck? Do you do something like that? Is this something that we've only done recently, or the statement, black-eyed peas have been eaten by humans for hundreds of years? Is that a true statement or a false statement? Tell me in the comments below, and I'll give you the answer at the end. All right, so look, I'm sure you've already made a whole bunch of New Year's resolutions. I mean, most people do, even if they don't write them down, even if they don't say them out loud. You know, we all got something in our minds that we think it's a new year, something we want to improve upon, and the new year is the perfect time to do that. So, what are we all wishing for in 2021? I want to know what everybody generally thinks they're going to get done by the end of the year. And here are the top New Year's resolutions, according to a survey last year of 2,000 people, in Inc. magazine. And this is what they said. 71% of the people said diet or eating healthier. Number one goal for the year, diet or eating healthier. Number two, 65% of the respondents, 2,000 respondents, said exercise more. That's their resolution, that's their goal. Any of these fitting with you right now? Probably so. Number three, lose weight, no matter what weight you are. I know very thin women that want to lose weight, but nonetheless, it's a goal for everyone, and that goes with exercise, diet, and health, right? The other is about money. Save more. Spend less. 32% of the respondents said that. And the fifth one, the top five, was learn a new skill or hobby. Beginning of the year, people love to be like, this is the time I'm going to learn how to do that. This is the course I'm going to take. I'm finally going to figure this out, right? So those are the top five. But then I went searching around the internet, trying to see what other people are thinking about, even more resolutions that people make, not just an Inc. magazine interview to get you to read their magazine, right? There's basically three other categories of things that are going on. The first is the self-improvement promises, things that people make to themselves when they imagine themselves at the end of last year. Did you see how fast this year went? Well, imagine December 31st, 2021. Are these some of the things that you want to be? Do you see yourself happier, in better mental health, maybe a little sharper mentally? You know, your concentration skills will be better. A lot of people say, I mean, it's very general, be a better person. You need to be more specific than that. Staying motivated, being more organized. Some people see the new year as reinventing themselves, becoming more self-reliant, becoming more confident, taking chances, right? Any of these ringing with you? These are things that you want to do in the coming year? They're the things, the self-improvement, the internal. But also, people think a lot about the social resolutions as well. People say that they want to meet new people. Harder this year, right? Find a significant other, a mate, a spouse. Many people always saying that. People say have better sex with their current mate or spouse. People talk about getting over heartbreak or getting over an ex. Being more romantic. People quarantine together now. Now might be the time to up your romance game, you know? Spending more time with interesting people. That can be online as well. Watching the TED Talks or educating yourselves. Reaching out to people in any way you can. This is where the whole Zoom meeting has come from, right? Being more social. But now there's a different way to be more social. And then there's the change my life entirely resolutions. A lot of people think about these things. Well, I need to make a total change. I just don't like the road that I'm on, right? I want to volunteer more. I want to give to charity. I want to feel more of the heart. You know, I want to start a new hobby. I want to change my life. I want to be more creative. I want to start painting. I want to express my art. I want to learn more about art or music or culture or get off the social media, except for Tuesdays at noon. I want to try something new. You know, these are all the things that are the self-reliance, the self-according. But, you know, I look through all these things. When I look through all these things that all these people want to accomplish over the next 12 months, I look up and down the list and I think to myself, check, 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 because they are all attached to food and cooking. Every single one of these. You can accomplish every one of these 30 or so resolutions that I've just mentioned, something that everybody makes. I don't care, take any of them. Focus on cooking your own food at home and you're going to get that resolution, right? If you focus on cooking at home, you're going to be better with your diet and healthier, like 71% of the people of the interview said. If you have better food, better fuel in you, you're going to want to exercise more. You'll lose weight. I know people that have lost tons of pounds, not literally 2,000, but tens of pounds, 100 and more pounds by eating better, by controlling their portion. They save money over takeout food and convenience food, and you certainly learn a new skill or hobby. You become healthier, you get better mental health, you're sharper mentally, you can concentrate and figure out some of the issues in cooking. I think you're a better person if you cook at home. You're organized, motivated, reinvented, self-reliant, confident, creative, prideful. Then you do become more social, then you do become more romantic, then cooking meals at home, yeah, you might have more sex with your ex. That confused two of them. No, I didn't mean that. You get over your ex, and you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, this is a very exciting opportunity. This is a time. This is where when you get online, you get involved in our Carefree Cooks community, you do spend more time with interesting people. You do become more social. Then you start cooking for others and leaving packages on their doorsteps. You start making cookies or baked goods. You have a new hobby. You're expressing your art. You're being more creative. You're learning a culture. You're spending less time on social media, except for my classes. And you're trying something new. There's 30 of them, right? The 30 that I mentioned, if you're cooking your own food at home, you're doing every one of them. But here, that's not even what I came to talk to you about today. I came to talk about the draft. No, that's a different song. Look, we all know that cooking with dependable and repeatable methods instead of written instructions are going to empower you to achieve any of these resolutions in 2021. This is the idea. But what about those of us that are already carefree cooks? What kind of resolution, if we've already cooking our own food at home, we're already losing weight, what kind of resolution can we make? Not just at the beginning of the journey, how can we take ourselves to the next level? So, cooking your own food at home? Check, right? Already there. Cooking even better food at home might call for one of the 5 resolutions that I think you should make this year. So if you don't have one, or if you didn't make one of the 30 that I said, why don't you take one of mine that I'm going to suggest? And the first resolution, kitchen resolution, let's say, that you should set for yourself is the goal of mastering at least one basic cooking method. You don't need to know all 13 of them off the bat, right? In 2021, just start focusing a little bit more on how you are cooking, the reactions in the pan, rather than what you are cooking. Too many people focus on what they are cooking and not how they are cooking it. It doesn't matter what's in the pan. So a greater concentration on the method you're using, recognizing the effects of the heat on food, and instead of just like how long to cook something, that's what most people focus on, just how long to cook it. If you see what's going on as it's cooking, recognize the effects of heat on food, you're immediately going to improve your cooking. Resolve to master at least one of the 13 cooking methods. Second, if you really want to eat better quality food but spend less money doing it, resolve to improve your boning knife skills. So if you're buying boneless, skinless chicken breast instead of a whole chicken and breaking it down yourself, you're spending a lot more money on chicken than you have to. I always say it's free chicken. If you set out to get chicken breasts and you bought yourself an entire chicken, you spend less than the breasts themselves, but then you get the legs, you get the wings, you get the thighs, you get the carcass for stock. It is free chicken. Boning knife makes free chicken. It's easy. Buy a whole beef tenderloin. Break it down into steaks. It's dramatic, the difference in price. Buy a whole fish. Fillet the fish instead. Buy cheaper beef or lamb. Turn them into cubes for stew when you can remove all that sinew and silver skin and fat for yourself. It saves money. It improves your results for sure. So boning knife is a resolution you should make. Third resolution you can make this year is to learn your family's portions. This is a health resolution, and I know people always roll their eyes when I talk about weighing and measuring things. People don't like to do this. They hate it. But look, I got to be honest here. I see some huge plates in our group from time to time. There's a lot of people that are just plain old over-portioning food, and I don't think anyone's ever taught this. That's why. Like, it's just kind of put as much on the plate as you can, cook as much as you can. So even for the biggest eaters, I'm not trying to limit how much you eat. I'm just trying to get you to figure out how much you eat. And the whole idea behind portioning and eating dinner isn't an eat until you're full proposition. And I think this is the way a lot of us were raised, is just eat until you're full. That's not a good plan. But you can't blame the diner when you put more food that they can eat down in front of them. This is your grandma. Blame your grandma. She started this, right? But it starts in the kitchen. It doesn't start at the dining room. Don't let the diner, we talked about this a few weeks ago, don't let the diner decide the portion. Resolve this year to know exactly how many ounces, how many grams of protein, starch, vegetable is just right for your family. No judgment, as much or as little as you want, but make it consistent and learn. And when we have another show where we talked about scaling that back, we'll talk about that in the future. Look, I'm not saying you got to starve your family out in 2021. Just be aware of your portion sizes. Get a scale, get measuring cups. And I'm not talking about measuring like for a recipe. I'm talking about how much rice do I make? Is it a cup or a half a cup? How much pasta? Is it 8 ounces, 6 ounces, 7, 4? That's the kind of thing. Not creating a recipe, just knowing how much food is going in your mouth. That's what I'm talking about. And it's another way to save money. I mean, seriously, when you used to get one meal out of a box of pasta, now you get 3 or 4. It also improves your well-being. If you are overeating, maybe you can quantify that and figure out where you can cut corners. Remember, the idea is to purchase only what you'll cook and cook only what you've purchased. That's the idea. Okay, my suggestion, resolution number 4 I can suggest is going to have making your own flavorful liquids this year. If you're not making your own stocks and broths, you probably should. You should start right now. And it's something that really couldn't be any easier to do. And you usually use food items that most people throw in the trash. So again, free food when you have skills. Because when you start making your own stocks and broths, your soups are instantly better. You're going to want to make soup, chicken soup, when you got an amazing chicken stock. Your sauces now have a unique flavor. Anything you simmer, poach, or steam has that extra level of flavor that you just can't get with jarred sauces or even creative seasonings. And here, here's the misconception too. This is what keeps a lot of people from doing this. You don't need to make 5 gallons of stock. People think, oh my goodness, I don't have a huge stock pot and I don't have the space in my fridge. I take a few shrimp shells, right? I clean a dozen shrimp. I take a few shrimp shells. I put it in only a cup or 2 of water and make a small amount of shrimp stock. It only takes like an hour or so of simmering shrimp shells. I nailed that one. For my risotto. Then it's a shrimp risotto. Let's say last night you had pork chops. You got 4 pork chop bones left over from dinner. You don't need to make 5 gallons of stock, and you're not going to out of 4 pork bones. Just put them in a saucepan, barely cover them with liquid, and you get a few ounces of flavorful liquid rather than using water to cook with. And I guarantee if you start making your own flavorful liquids, the next resolution is going to naturally follow because you're going to want to become a sauce boss this year. If you focus on just one sauce and perfect it, you've been working on that white sauce. You've been working on that cheese sauce. It's lumpy or it's too thin or keep working on it. You'll figure it out. I mean, for goodness sake, professional chefs spend their entire careers studying sauces, learning new sauces, creating the perfect combination of flavor, texture, and appearance in a sauce. You're not going to figure it out overnight. And I'll tell you, this is one of my resolutions every year. Every year I want to make better sauces than the year before. But if you make too large a resolution, you're not going to do it. You don't need to learn every sauce. You don't even need to know the 5 mother sauces and every derivative therefrom. But if you resolve to study just one type of sauce, a velouté, make a good roux, add that stock to it. The chicken stock that you just made, or the flavorful mushroom broth, or vegetarian vegetable broth, any of these things. You do it until you got it nailed down, and you can make it blindfolded, and it'll find its way into all the rest of your cooking. But, okay, can't leave you with just 5 because I'm obviously excited to be back in the new year, and I think about these things a lot. So I always like to over-deliver, so I'm going to include a 6th one as well. Here's the bonus. If you didn't like any of those 5 that I just talked about, oh, shut up, Todd. You don't know what you're talking about. I got a 6th one that's going to get you, for sure. Because there are methods that go with this last resolution, but so much of it comes down to using your creativity and discovering the flavor combinations that you like. I really don't like answering questions about what goes good together. People are always asking me what foods go good together. I don't have your tongue. I can't possibly know that. So the 6th resolution for you to explore is the flavors in your pantry cabinet and talk about compound flavors. Okay, so this is a kind of lofty idea, compound flavors. And what I mean is like compound butters, using garlic, herb, lemon butter in things. You keep pats of that in your freezer. You got a dollop of Worcestershire Montreal seasoning clarified butter for your steaks, you know. Compound flavors can be achieved with oils and oregano, basil, olive oil. Will put another level on your cooking. Compound flavors can be made in grains and rices by adding flavor to the liquid that you're making the grains or rice with. Same thing with sauces, infusing milk with onion or pepper, macerating the milk before you make your white sauce. These are compound flavors. And I teach a really in-depth class on making sauces. But look, creating your own ingredients, using unique flavors to put into your own original dishes, that is going to take your cooking up a bit this year. And that's the whole idea. If you can start get to know the seasonings in your cabinet, lick the tip of your finger and taste what the oregano really tastes like. Dip it in the oregano and then in the basil. Taste the two of them together. Sit and play with some of these flavors so that you know what combinations go well together for you, and that will run its way across all of your cooking. And look, again, you don't have to cook. You don't have to do all 5 or 6 of the resolutions. That makes it seem daunting. Pick one. Just make a commitment to yourself that you're going to explore just one of these topics in the new year, and you'll enjoy more flavorful meals and much greater pride in what you cook for the entire year going forward. Okay, look, I'm excited to go through the Carefree Cooks collection again. There's a lot of new original dishes being displayed in our Carefree Cooks community this week. Way too many of them. Through the holidays, all the holiday cooking. Oh my goodness, all the New Year's cooking is amazing. But just scrolling through our group where I put my brakes on, these are some of the things that I found. Liz sauteed this piece of salmon with fresh parsley, garlic, capers, and lemon juice. 9 steps in a basic saute method. Nice looking holiday plate. Rihanna made a sausage stuffed pork tenderloin with a really nice fresh salad. Really pretty plate. Web cooking classes lesson week 1 on roasting. Chinese food is a holiday tradition for a lot of people, and Nora created this honey chicken and fried rice she said is better than takeout. And I also spent the last year learning how to recreate all the takeout foods that I no longer buy. I know I can cook, and I can cook across a wide range, but geez, I don't know everything, and I can't get it just right the way my local store sounds. So that actually sounds like a really good goal for the new year also. How about making a resolution about making better pizza than the pizza place? How about resolving to make better tikka masala than the Indian restaurant, or better fried rice than the Chinese restaurant? That's the path I'm on. That's my resolution for the coming year. And I'll give you an example of one of my goals from the past year. Just to get on a tangent here for a minute. There's a pizza place just 2 blocks away. I can almost see it out my window here. And they make a roasted duck and fig flatbread pizza that I used to crave. Roasted duck, fig, flatbread pizza. Watering thinking about it. Well, I nailed it. I finally nailed it this past week. I figured out a fig sauce, what to do for the fig sauce, a roasted duck breast. I had duck over the holidays, had a little bit left over. Sun-dried tomatoes was a key, and mozzarella cheese. My fig pizza was quack-mazing. It was just unbelievable. And while I'm bragging, sharing some of my photos, how about some lobster eggs Benedict on caramelized onion potato pancake? That was my New Year's Day brunch. Lobster eggs Benedict on caramelized onion potato pancake. Looks really fancy, right? It's not. It's really not difficult. And really all you would need is Web Cooking Classes lesson week 5 on poaching, lesson week 18 on eggs, lesson week 40 on potato dishes, and week 29 on hollandaise sauce. Just 4. You would only need 4 Web Cooking Classes lessons, and you can make stuff like this. Paula did an eggs Benedict, hers on toast over smoked salmon slices. Beautiful looking hollandaise, Paula. Van's New Year's tradition is pork and sauerkraut. This is a big one in Baltimore also. Here, the German tradition of sauerkraut for the New Year is real big. Natalie's tradition for good luck in the New Year is black-eyed peas, like we were talking about, greens, ham, and cornbread. I wonder where in the U.S. Natalie lives. You know? All right, so let's not forget about our true or false before we run out of time. The true or false for the year. Speaking of Natalie's black-eyed peas, do you eat beans for good luck at the New Year? Do you make like a Hoppin' John, beans, greens, things like that? True or false? Have humans been eating black-eyed peas for hundreds of years or not? The answer is true. Cultivated before prehistoric times in China and India, black-eyed peas were eaten by Greeks and Romans brought to the West Indies by enslaved West Africans in the late 1600s, but originally used as food for livestock. They became a staple of the slave diet. And the interesting story behind these and why they're so big in the South was during the Civil War, the field peas, the black-eyed peas, and corn were ignored by Sherman's troops as not fit for humans, as being livestock feed. So they didn't even eat them. They're left behind in the field. And then when the Confederate South came back, there was something to eat, right? I'm way overgeneralizing that. So in the American South, eating black-eyed peas and greens, like collard greens, on New Year's Day is always good luck. The peas are supposed to symbolize coins. The greens supposed to symbolize paper money. Nonetheless, yeah, this goes back almost as far as man. So, hey, do you know someone that could really should resolve to improve their cooking this year? Please like, love, share this video with them so we can all benefit from an improved lifestyle through better food and cooking in 2021. And look, if you're considering taking my advice and setting some cooking resolutions this year, and you're making sauces is one of the things that you'd really like to be able to do. You're going to get an early start if you get involved with this week's free online class. It's get 5 times more variety and 5 times more flavor in your cooking using just one powerful pro kitchen secret. You can find out more what this powerful pro kitchen secret is when you go to webcookingclasses.com/5 times and pick a class time that's right for you. So, I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad we're together again. We have an entire year of cool things coming up until we meet again next Tuesday at noon Eastern. We're going to take even more steps toward cracking the Carefree Cook's Code. This is Chef Todd Moore reminding you that there's a method to your resolved cooking success. Bye, everyone.